last few beeps of fading tune. Cash drawer clicks beneath the moon. Checkout screen in gentle glow, counting what the day might show. Coins like tiny meteor rain, falling tray with muted grain. Every sound in closing air feels like echoes of a prayer. You rewind the evening rush, voices stacked in crowded hush. Orders shouted, names misheard. Sugar, oat milk, extra stirred. Now the register soft song plays the credits all night long. Quiet numbers on the screen, hold what eyes have never seen. In the stillness, every chime marks a piece of borrowed time. What they paid and what you gave, little waves you couldn't save. Quiet checkout echoes linger on, sing the stories come and gone. Every total, every beep, guard the hearts that couldn't sleep. If the world forgets their face, hold them in this tiny place till tomorrow's rush begins. Keep their shadows in your bins. There's a line for lonely hearts, unseen on the daily charts. Girl who tipped too much tonight, just to feel she did something right. Guy who fumbled with his change, eyes a galaxy of strange. Check out memoir, soft and low, keeps the things they didn't show. You close out the final batch, sign your name with weary scratch. Yet it feels like more than pay, like a record of the day. Drawer slides with gentle hush, like a door that ends a rush. Echoes hum in metal rails, holding all the tiny tales. Maybe worth is not the sum of the digits that might come. Maybe value hides inside moments money couldn't buy. Still the checkout, line by line, tracks the points where souls align. Places where a simple high stopped a spirit saying why. Quiet echoes stay in tune, humming softly with the moon. When I'm doubting what I've done, play this ledger one by one. Screen goes black, the lights go out, yet the echoes move about. In your memory's dusty shelves, all those beeps become themselves. You walk home through empty roads, carrying unseen barcodes. Chip blue mug between your palms, holding all your borrowed calms. Handle worn from countless hands, stories in its faded bands. You lift it like a little shrine, sip the dregs of overtime. In the hush of empty chairs, you turn coffee into prayers. Not the kind with perfect words, not the ones that heaven's heard. Just a sigh that leaves your chest, hoping it might find some rest. Let them all get safely home, let them know they're not alone. Give me strength to try again when the rush comes back at 10. Blue mug prayers, stay warm for me, hold my fragile liturgy. If my faith is cracked and thin, fill the fracture up again. I don't need a holy sign, just this handle in my hand. Blue mug, listen when I say I survived another day. You recall the earlier year when your hands first trembled here. Every order felt like test, every shift a weighty quest. Now the mug knows all your names, all your small and quiet shames. You have cried above its brim, you have laughed on nights too dim. Maybe prayer is simply this, holding warmth you almost miss. Maybe heaven sometimes hides in the foam that gently slides. Maybe grace is coffee steam, softening a heavy dream. And your cracked blue cup tonight is a star in someone's night. Tiny prayer still drifting by. Needle sinks in final groove, room forgets its hurried move. Last track on the battered disc, soft and sleepy, low and brisk. Saxophone and smoky fade, drums like footsteps unafraid. Every note in slow and spin pulls a velvet curtain in. You lean back against the wall, let the evening's footage fall. Hear the echoes of the laughs, half-baked jokes and photograph. Hear the arguing and sighs, all the maybes, all goodbyes. Vinyl crackle in between, stitches up the movie scene. Vinyl curtain closing, fall so slow. Hide the mess, I can't let go. Wrap this day in hiss and tone, let these moments head back home. When the record breathes its last, let the pain drift with the past. Leave a quiet, gentle scene where I can lie down and dream. Once at 9 the tempo jumped, beat was high, espresso pumped. Young kids swaying in their chairs, turn the cafe into layers. Now at 12 the tempo wanes, bass relaxes, frees the chains. Every cymbal brushed in light tucks the corners of the night. Maybe endings need a score, not a slam of wooden door. Maybe closing feels less harsh when a sax draws out the march. Let the label slowly spin till the silence settles in. Let the curtain dust and tune fall beneath the tender mood. Final curtain whisper low. Let my tired senses go. When the final crackle's done, tell me that the day is won. Needle lifts in gentle rise. Room exhales its heavy sighs. You flip switches, lights withdraw, curtain down without a flaw. Yet the melody you heard follows like a trailing word. stool still pulled out far. Lonely island by the bar. Everyone has gone to sleep. Only you and mop and sweep. You sit down instead of stand. Face still stained with coffee hands. In this crooked metal seat, all your thoughts begin to speak. You look up at menu boards. Names of blends like secret chords. Think of choices never made. Dreams you shelved and plans delayed. Stool supports your folded knees. Like a friend who just lets be. You pour water, not a brew. Talk the night halfway to you. Last stool soliloquy. Talk me down from the edges of this town. Let my worries spill and fall on this sticky wooden wall. If no audience is near, still I need someone to hear. Let this seat in metal blue hold the weight I'm sinking through. You confess your quiet fears. Will I stay like this for years? Is there more than shifts and checks? Piles of cups and strained necks. Then you think of eyes you've met. Soft thank yous you won't forget. All the times you saw them breathe. Cafe warmth before they leave. Maybe purpose isn't loud, isn't fame or cheering crowd. Maybe it's this creaking chair, letting grief hang in the air. Maybe it's the late night shift, where your words are gentle gift. Last stool holds you while you learn. You're allowed to take a turn. Last stool soliloquy. Stay my friend. Listen till the questions end. When tomorrow's cue appears, you will still have held my tears. You stand up and push it in. Silence settled on your skin. Though the room is nearly bare, you feel heard by one old chair. You lock up and cross the street. Soliloquy tucked under feet. Pale blue line along the wood. Dawnside glow that says you could counter once in midnight's hold. Now wears hints of quiet gold. You return from taking trash. See the sky in subtle splash. Edge of bar in morning shade holds a promise gently laid. You have seen this out before. Always tired, always sore. Yet today the light feels new. Less like duty, more like view. You run fingers down the grain. Feel release from hidden strain. Sunlight in its early climb washes off the scent of time. Dawnside counter promise rise for me. Tell me who I yet could be. In this thin and fragile glow, show me paths I didn't know. Let this soft unshouted light say my future's not just night. If I'm more than what I've done, mark it in this newborn sun. You imagine other days, different shops and different ways. Maybe school or distant towns, maybe trains and coastal sounds. Counter doesn't say don't go, only shares a gentle glow. Says you matter here as well, but your story's yours to tell. Maybe promise isn't loud, doesn't stand above the crowd. Maybe it's a line of blue sliding quietly toward you. Maybe dawn in cafe glass says this season too can pass. You can stay or you can leave. Either way, the light believes. Dawnside counter, keep this trace of a softer, brighter place. When the rush begins again, let me feel this maybe then. Hold this promise in your grace, so I find it through the strain. Front glass door, welcome in the day once more. Yet beneath the cups and noise lives a small unshaken choice. Counter gleams in tender hue. Dawnside promise held by you.
The counterlight shimmers in amber lines, thin as threads of forgotten times. It glows quietly across the varnished wood, like a memory harbor that always understood. You rest your tired palms beside the grain, feeling something soften inside your chest again. The cafe is empty, the chairs all turn, but the counter remembers every soul you've served. Steam from the final brew rises slow, mixing with the dim cinematic glow. You watch it drift like a small worn ship, carrying pieces of days you let slip. There's laughter trapped in the air above, old confessions, heartbreak, half-spoken love. The counterlight holds them all without fear, like a harbor catching ships that won't disappear. Someone once sat here shaking hard, clutching their cup like a last safeguard. They whispered it's been rough today, and you simply nodded the pain away. They left a ring of coffee stain, a tiny symbol of real human strain. Now you trace that mark with a steady thumb and feel the echo of where they came from. Maybe this place is more than walls, more than orders, receipts and calls. Maybe this dim reflected glow knows more about you than you'll ever show. Counterlight memory harbor, shine for me, anchor the things I long to be. Hold my doubts in your golden seam, guide my thoughts like a drifting dream. If the world forgets my name, hold my quiet heart the same. Counterlight, stay through the night, be my harbor in this fading light. You remember the girl with neon hair who doodled stars in the midnight air? She said your cappuccinos made her brave, gave her strength she didn't know she gave. She danced sometimes between the tables, wearing confidence like shifting cables. Her footprints linger in the glow, counter keeps the parts you know. There was also that old man dressed in gray, came every Tuesday before midday. He never spoke more than a phrase or two, just warmed his hands on the mug you drew. He looked out the window like he saw a ghost, lost in memories of what he missed most. Now when the counterlight hits a certain way, you see his silhouette like it never went away. Maybe every soul is a ship at sea, carrying storms we'll never see. Maybe the counter is where we dock, where we breathe again before the clock. In the harbor lights gentle shine, your pulse slows down and aligns. You realize you've been sailing too, and this place steadies you through. Counterlight harbor, don't fade now, guide me through the night somehow. If tomorrow feels too steep, hold the dreams I need to keep. Let the glow along your edge be my quiet safety pledge. Counterlight, soft and low, show me where I'm meant to go. The final steam curl drifts away, leaving scents of roasted gray. You stack the cups and wipe the stains, but something peaceful still remains. The counterlight bends around your wrist, soft as a moment you almost missed. It whispers gently in muted hue, you gave your heart more than you knew. You switch off lights one by one, but the harbor glow is never done. Even as you lock the door, it falls.
The dust settles like quiet ink, painting lines that make you think. Orange fading into blue, window seat becomes your view. You slide into the corner space where the fading sun draws lace. A testimony begins to glow, telling things you rarely show. Shadows move across the floor, soft confession evermore. The cafe hum slows down to rest, evening whispers on your chest. Steam from someone's cooling tea floats like truth you couldn't free. You rest your palms against your knees, feeling life in gentle breeze. You remember someone dear who once sat across from here. They trace circles in the grain, talking soft to hide their pain. You listened though you didn't know how deep their quiet currents flowed. Now the dusk across the wall brings that memory back to call home. Maybe dusk is honesty, wrapped in muted harmony. Maybe window light at end of day says the things we can't convey. Windowseat, dust testimony speak for me. Tell the truths I fail to see, write the lines I hold inside where my fears and hopes collide. If I whisper through the haze, hold my heart in evening's gaze. Let the fading orange hue speak the things I never do. You hear the soft espresso drop, the rhythmic heartbeat of the shop. Someone laughs outside the door, echo dancing on the floor. The day's fatigue begins to pass, melted by the sunset glass. Every ray in dying light feels like ink that writes you right. You recall a brighter time when the dust felt like a rhyme. Days when dreams were close at hand, still unscarred by shifting sand. You held journals full of plans, wrote them with determined hands. But somewhere in the years gone dim, pages filled with tired whim. Maybe life is meant to change, meant to stretch and rearrange. Maybe dusk is where you see where you've lost and where you'll be. Window seat becomes a pew, evening sky a sermon too. Every hue and fading tone tells you you're not quite alone. drops their heavy bag. Eyes still bright but shoulders sag. They sit near you, one seat down, lost inside their muted frown. In their face you recognize your own past in different skies. Testimony soft and clear says we're all just wandering here. Windowseat testimony, stay with me. Guide my fragile memory. Let the dusk untie my chest. Teach my weary soul to rest. When tomorrow's noise begins, hold tonight beneath my skin. Let the evening's final glow say the truths I need to know. The barista sweeps the floor. Sunlight hangs a breath before it fades entirely from the glass, leaving shadows unsurpassed. You stay seated, breathing slow, letting every moment grow. This window seat, this fading light feels like armor in the night. Dusk retreats and softens sway, but its testimony stays. You rise slowly from the chair, carrying twilight through the air. When you step into the street, something feels a shade complete. Window seat in fading tone, left a truth you now call home. Ooh.
The doors locked, the lights are low, only teacup embers glow. Afterhours feels like truth, soft as memories from youth. You sit down beside the bar, where the whispers always are. Steam rises and drifting swirl, like a secret ready to unfurl. You wrap your hands around the cup, let the lingering warmth rise up. Porcelain hums against your skin, inviting what stays locked within. The room no longer needs to serve, no orders left for you to curve. Just quiet, settling small and slow, like a confession you barely know. You remember someone late, came at 8:15, sat alone, their hands ice cold, telling stories never told. They stared deep into their tea, saying no one listens to me. Yet in their trembling, fragile tone, you heard pieces of your own. Maybe cups can hold more weight than the lives we complicate. Maybe steam and fading light make the truth less sharp at night. After hours, teacup confessions speak for me. Hold the words I fear to free. Let the warmth inside your rim light the fears I kept too dim. If I tremble when I try, catch the tear before I cry. Teacup glowing soft and wide, let my truth have somewhere to hide. You stare deep into the brew, see a tired version of you. Someone who has given much more than life could ever touch. Every pore and every shift, every forced, exhausted lift. All the days you've powered through leave a quiet mark on you. You exhale a heavy sigh, ask yourself the reasons why you keep going day by day, pouring warmth you give away. Maybe giving is your art, a small way to heal a heart. Maybe what you think is small means a lifeline to them all. Teacup heat against your chest says you've done your quiet best. Even if you feel unseen, even if your light is lean. In the after-hours gloom, teacup glows across the room. Porcelain becomes a seed, rooted in the love you need. You think back to years ago when you didn't always know past mistakes. Teacup confession, don't fade yet. Hold the things I can't forget. When tomorrow makes me numb, let this moment help me come. If the world feels sharp and loud, let this silence wrap a shroud. Steam that drips in fading hue, carry what I can't get through. Softly near the sink, giving space for you to think. This confession, warm and small, feels like nothing, but it's all. Teacup whispers in its heat. You deserve a gentle seat. You breathe in and close your eyes, feeling something real arise. Steam grows thin, the cup grows cold, but your story has been told. Afterhours, calm remains, softening your hidden pains. You unlock the door once more, carry truth beyond the floor. Teacup fading in its glow, still holds parts you can't let go. The cafe is empty now, chairs tipped high. The mop waits patient as you sigh. Midnight makes a quiet stage. Floorboards turning page by page. Your hands wrap around the wooden pole, feeling echoes in your soul. The first slow stroke across the ground is the softest symphony sound. You drag them up in sweeping arcs, leaving trails like watermarks. Reflections shimmer in the light, little rivers through the night. Each movement has a tender beat. The curtain's born beneath your feet. The room becomes an orchestra made of tasks you do with care. You think of all the stories here, morning laughs and nighttime fear. The mob collects the day's remains, spilled sugar footprints, coffee stains. Someone cried in table 3, left a tear you didn't see. Someone kissed beneath the sign, left faint warmth along its line. Maybe floors remember too, all the souls that wandered through. Maybe midnight silent sweep is a promise floors will keep. Midnight Mop Symphony, play for me. Clean the weight I fail to see. Let the rhythm smooth my mind, leave the heaviness behind. Wooden water, soft and slow, wash away what I can't show. When the daylight comes to be, let me wake in harmony. You move the mop in gentle sway, left to right in quiet play. The sound is like a heartbeat low, a steady tempo meant to grow. You hum a tune without a name, something warm and something tame. In the mirror near the till, you see a version of you still. You remember a younger time, when this job was just a line on a list of passing things. Now calms the dreams you meant to keep. Maybe music doesn't need perfect rules or written creed. Maybe mop strokes in the night are enough to set things right. Every push and every glide calms the storm you hold inside. You can breathe a little more as your steps embrace the floor. Midnight Mop Symphony, stay with me. Let this quiet set me free. When tomorrow weighs me thin, start this melody again. If I'm trembling in the dawn, play the chorus till it's gone. In this hush of gentle sweep, hold the parts I couldn't keep. The bucket stills, the water fades, cleaning scent in subtle shades. You lean the mop against the wall, feeling lighter through it all. Midnight's notes begin to dim, but the peace stays deep within. You switch the lights and step outside. Symphony echo in your stride. The lantern flickers overhead, soft as whispers in a bed. Glow settles on the wooden bar, tracing lines of who you are. The shop has fallen into hush, no more chatter, no more rush. Closing notes begin to drift, lantern giving one last gift. You wipe the counter one more time, breathing in the fading rhyme. The lantern glows in amber tone, turning silence into home. You rest your hand upon the grain, feeling warmth dissolve your strain. Each small circle of the cloth feels like healing, smooth and soft. You recall the lively crowd, music playing not too loud. Someone spilled a cup at 4. You laughed though your feet were sore. Later came a couple sweets, sharing cake and tiny seeds. Lantern watched it all unfold, every story bright or cold. Maybe endings aren't a fate, but a place where truth is made. Maybe lantern light so small holds the best notes of it all. Lantern glow, closing notes, stay with me. Sing the end so tenderly. Let your shimmer soothe my bones. Gather up the scattered tones. When my heartbeat beats too loud, calm it like a fading cloud. Lantern glowing soft and near, hold the echoes I keep here. Hold the echoes I keep here. You sit down where shadows rest, hands still warm against your chest. Lantern hums a gentle fire, tugging softly at desire to be seen beyond the roll, to feel whole in tired soul. You close your eyes and breathe the night, letting glow become your light. Footsteps linger in your head, voices of the daily thread. People rushing, people slow, people lost in thoughts they show. Lantern witnessed every scene, from the fragile to serene. Now it plays a mellow chord, like a soft unspoken word. Maybe all the quiet things take the shape of lantern wings. Maybe warmth in golden fade stops the hurt the world has made. Maybe light doesn't need size to be truth in weary eyes. Lantern glow, just stay a while. Teach me how to gently smile. Closing notes in lantern shine. Guide my soul along the line. If tomorrow storms again, let this glow be my refrain. Hold the songs I couldn't sing. Keep my heart from tightening. Lantern hum so soft and slow. Let me rest beneath your glow. The flame dips low but doesn't die. Just a quiet lullaby. You switch the locks, you breathe the air. Lantern warmth still clinging there as you walk into the night. You still feel its gentle light. Closing notes along your chest, telling you you've done your best.
Cafe sinks into its midnight hush. Only the fridge hums in a patient rush. You flip the last switch beside the wall, watching shadows deepen, stretch, then fall. On the counter lies the brew book worn, pages soften, edges torn. Every cup you made today left an echo you can't betray. You sit beside the ledger spine, finger tracing every line. Notes in scribbled tired ink make you stop and make you think. Double shot, no room at 9. Chamomile for number 5. But between these simple words live the truth you overheard. That student trembling through exams and still shaking near the fans. You wrote oat milk extra warm, but the echo was a storm. A mother ordering at dawn, eyes red, nights far too long. You wrote latte, hold the phone, but her voice searched for a home. Maybe ledger's right, what's real? Not the drinks, but how we feel. Maybe every mark you made held a heart the world betrayed. Nightbrew, ledger of echoes, tell me true. Hold the souls I once brewed through. Every scribble, every stain, show the weight behind their pain. If I'm lost in midnight's ache, let these echoes keep me awake. Ledger glowing soft and low, tell me where my kindness goes. You flip to pages near the end, see an entry from a friend, someone who used to stop by late, saying close the shop, it can't wait. You joked, you laughed, you poured their tea, gave them comfort endlessly. Now their name shows just one time, a final mark in fading rhyme. You close your eyes and let it rise, all the echoes you disguise. The ledger hums beneath your hand, like it somehow understands. You've carried strangers through their storms, through their breakups, through reforms. You brewed warmth when words felt weak, fill the spaces they won't speak. Maybe this is sacred ground where the quiet truths are found. Maybe pages soaked in steam teach you more than any dream. Maybe all the lives that blend with the drinks you recommend make you part of something vast, a witness to what people mask. Nightbrew echoes stay with me, guide my fragile memory. If tomorrow feels too steep, let these pages help me keep all the meaning I forget, all the hearts I haven't met. Let your whisper through the night tell me that I did something right. You close the book with gentle care, breathe the roasted midnight air. Though the cafe now is still, echoes warm you through the chill. You lock the door, you hold your keys, carry echoes on the breeze. Let your resting soft and true keeps a piece of them in you.
You climb the rooftop after close, carrying tea still warm rose. City lights hum far below, streets in restless neon flow. Steam begins its quiet climb, tracing shapes that shift with time. You breathe slow, your chest released, night becomes your gentle feast. Steam drifts upward into air, writing maps of everywhere. Lines curve out like wandering roads, carrying your hidden loads. You see mountains in the mist, places you have long dismissed. Old regrets in clouded trails, soften now in gentler scales. You sip slow, the warmth expands, atlas drawn by unseen hands. Each swirl marks a memory, folded into history. A younger you with burning drive, dreams so sharp they felt alive. A later you who hid in fear, brewed through sadness year to year. Maybe steam reveals the way to tomorrow's softer day. Maybe rooftop winds can heal what the heart can't help but feel. Rooftop steam atlas map me out, show me what my life's about. Every spiral, every line, mark the sorrow I resign. Let the drifting vapor chart where to place my fragile heart. Atlas floating soft and true, guide the night in shades of blue. You recall the ones who came, speaking truths without a name. Someone said they lost their path, someone else held muted wrath. Every story you took in left a quiet mark within. Now the steam in moonlit glow shows the places you should go. Your tea grows cooler in your hand, but the atlas doesn't end. Steam reveals a distant coast, something gentle you miss most. Dreams you shelved in darker days now unfold in quiet ways. You see outlines of a town where your spirit won't drown. Maybe life is not a race, but a search for kinder space. Maybe rooftop air at night draws your future into sight. Steam becomes a cosmic guide, marking paths you locked inside. Every swirl a chance to see what your soul still wants to be. Rooftop atlas holds your glow, tell me where I'm meant to go. If I
The journey that you trace still remains in gentle taste. You rise slowly, breathe the air, feel the world grow somehow fair. Rooftop silent, sky nude, atlas living now in you.
Warm brew sits beside your wrist, steam twisting like a subtle twist. Evening lights begin to fade, casting honey-colored shade. You lean against the counter's edge, feeling life without a pledge. Every sip you didn't take tells the truths you can't unmake. The cafe hum is fading small, just a whisper down the hall. Mugs are drying by the sink, giving you the time to think. This soft brew holds the day's remains, stories, moments, silent pains. You didn't brew it for a guest, but for your heart that needs the rest. You recall the girl at noon, face pale like a waning moon. She said, I'm trying to keep afloat, voice trembling in her throat. You brewed her something calm and light, hoped it soothed her in her fight. Her smile shook but still came through, leaving warmth inside the brew. Maybe cups can testify, speak the words we keep inside. Maybe warmth that drifts in air holds the weight we couldn't bear. Soft brew testimonial, speak for me. Pour the truths I fail to see. Every scent in rising steam feels like echoes of a dream. Let your warmth remind my chest of the kindness I expressed, even when I'm feeling small. Tell me I still gave my all. Later came a man in blue, hands still shaking from the news. He said, coffee, anything, just to stop his thoughts from sting. You served him slow with steady breath, stirred in hope with quiet depth. He nodded once and whispered low, thank you more than you could know. Now the brew beside you glows, holding everything it knows. It becomes a gentle lens, magnifying where you've been. Every person, every scene, softly blending in between. You close your eyes and feel the heat, like a hand upon your seat. Maybe life is written best in the moments unexpressed. Maybe warmth that fills a cup lifts the pieces you've messed up. Maybe brew that cools at night shows your heart in softer light. You're not perfect, never were, but your kindness still occurs. Soft brew, whisper once again. Tell my tired bones I've been someone's calm, someone's pause, even flawed with all my flaws. If the world forgets my name, let your warmth recall the same. Testimonial, soft and true, hold the best inside the brew. The steam thins out, the night grows deep, but it's quiet truths you keep. You pour it out, you dim the light, carrying warmth into the night. Soft brew, cooling by the door, says you matter just a little more.
the cafe floor. Cup shadows stretch a little more. Lines grow long and muted gray, marking what the day didn't say. You place your final mug aside, watch its shadow slowly glide. It forms shapes along the crowd, like the truths you shut out. You sweep gently through the room, feeling echoes in the gloom. Cup shadow slips across the tiles, sorting memories into piles. Some are bright, some bittersweet, some too heavy to repeat. Yet the floor collects them all, like a library in the hall. You remember lunchtime noise, crowded tables, restless boys. Someone spilled a drink in haste, someone cried from feeling misplaced. Every cup that touched the light left an archive in the night. Now in quiet you can see what they left unconsciously. Baby shadows know our hearts, hold our fears in fragile parts. Maybe nightfall draws a line in the spaces we resign. Nightfall, cup shadow archive, keep them safe. Store the truths I can't erase. Every outline, every trace, mark the stories in this space. If tomorrow I forget all the souls my path has met, shadow archive, soft and slow, keep the echoes in your glow. You kneel down beside the stain, left by someone hiding pain. They said I'm okay with forced delight, but their cup shadow told the night that their heart was torn in two, and the floor recorded it too. Now the shape upon the tile feels like sorrow in exile. Another shadow near the till curves with laughter soft and still. A pair who shared a single mug, hands entwined in tender hug. You didn't archive what they said, nightfall did the work instead. Cup shadow holds their quiet thrill, frozen in the evening chill. Maybe we're all shadows here, marking presence year by year. Maybe nothing truly leaves, even pain that softly grieves. Cup shadow in moonlit seam, archives hope and broken dream. You can see your own shape too, tired, worn, but shining through. Cup shadow archive, stay tonight, keep my fragile stories bright. When the dawn erases you, let the meaning still shine through. If the world grows loud again, hold this peace beneath my skin. Nightfall floor in shaded hues, keep the me I tend to lose. You turn off the final light, cup shadows blend into the night. Yet the archive doesn't fade, lives and marks the cafe made. You step out with slower pace, carrying shadows from this place. Nightfall whispers soft and true, every story lives in you. Machine
exhales its breath, steam rising like a whispered death. Cups are stacked, the chairs are crossed. Days counted, wins and lost. You stand still beside the gleam, watch the shape of cooling steam. In its climb you start to see pieces of your memory. Steam curls upward slow and wide, like a story from inside. Every swirl a whisper thin, holding moments you've been in. Orders shouted, laughter bright, heavy hearts that came tonight. All of it in silent stream, written in the closing steam. You breathe deep and feel it warm, gentle as a passing storm. Someone earlier seemed afraid, hiding things they never said. You brewed calm into their cup, hoped it held their spirit up. Now the testament in air says your heart was truly there. Maybe steam remembers more than the stains upon the floor. Maybe warmth that fades to gray tells me what I gave today. Closing steam testament, speak to me, show the truth I cannot see. Every spiral in the air, hold the weight I tried to bear. If I faltered, if I failed, tell me where my heart prevails. Steam that rises soft and true, carry all I poured into. You recall the boys at 3, arguing about degrees, spilling sugar as they fought, laughing when they lost the thought. Though their noise was far from kind, their confusion eased your mind. When their cup left one small ring, steam now echoes everything. Later came a quiet man, holding dreams that never ran. He sat staring at the door, as if waiting for something more. You gave him tea, warm and slow, hoped it softened what he'd known. Steam now drifting near the light, tells you he survived the night. Maybe closing time reveals all the truth the daylight seals. Maybe steam in empty rooms lifts the weight of hidden wounds. Every wish that climbs the air feels like someone's silent prayer. You stand still and let it rise, let it wash your tired eyes. Closing testament, stay a while, wrap my bones in tender style. If tomorrow shakes my faith, let this steam restore my grace. Hold the stories, hold the ache, show me what I helped remake in your drifting silhouette. Let my doubts and fears reset. You wipe down the metal base, watching steam leave little trace. Though it's fading, though it's slight, something in your chest feels right. You recall the countless shifts, every tiny human gift. In the hush you understand, warmth is something you command. Steam grows thin, the hum grows still, night wrapped tight in gentle chill. You switch off the final glow, hold the truths the steam let show. As you step out through the door, you don't feel so lost anymore. Closing steam.